What's up, everyone? Today, we're diving into the brand new Motorola Moto G for 2026, priced at just under $200. This phone aims to deliver a solid experience without breaking the bank. It looks good, feels great in the hand, and promises fantastic battery life. But in a market this competitive, does it do enough to stand out? Is this the budget king you've been waiting for, or are there better options out there for your money? Let's find out. First, let's talk about the design. Motorola has wrapped this phone in a textured vegan leather finish that covers the entire back and flows right around the camera module. It feels premium, looks distinctive, and it's a refreshing change from the usual glass slabs we see everywhere. The phone is a little on the chunky side, slightly thicker and heavier than last year's model and competitors like the Galaxy A16. On the front, you get a big display with some noticeable bezels. The sides are pretty standard, a SIM and microSD card tray on the left, and on the right, you'll find the volume buttons and a power button that doubles as a fingerprint scanner. Honestly, the scanner feels a bit inconsistent, and the volume buttons are placed a little too high for easy one-handed use. But hey, it has a 3.5mm headphone jack on the bottom, which is always a win in my book. Now, let's turn our attention to that display. Under the hood, the Moto G is powered by the MediaTek Dimensity 6300 chipset with 4 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage. This is the same setup as the 2025 model, and you know what? It's perfectly fine for the basics. Scrolling through social media, browsing the web, and juggling a few apps at once all feel smooth enough. You're not going to be playing graphically intense games at the highest settings, but for everyday tasks, the performance is reliable and gets the job done without much fuss. One area where Motorola consistently shines is battery life, and this year is no exception. They've bumped the battery up to 5,200 mAh. It charges at up to 30 watts with a cable, though there's no wireless charging, which is expected at this price. This thing is a marathon runner. It will easily, and I mean easily, get you through a full day of heavy use and probably well into a second day if you're a lighter user. If long-lasting battery is your top priority, the Moto G is a serious contender. When it comes to connectivity, you get solid 5G support, Bluetooth 5.4, and NFC for mobile payments. It also supports both a physical SIM and an eSIM. The only real letdown here is that it's still using Wi-Fi 5. At this point, Wi-Fi 6 would have been a really nice upgrade for faster, more reliable connections on compatible networks. As for audio, call quality is okay, but voices can sound a bit muffled. The single bottom-firing speaker gets loud, but it lacks any real depth or richness. It's fine for speakerphone calls or watching a quick video, but for music, you'll definitely want to use that headphone jack or a pair of Bluetooth earbuds. Let's move on to the cameras. The setup is identical to last year's model, a 50-megapixel main camera and a 2-megapixel macro lens. There's no ultra-wide or telephoto camera, which is a bit of a bummer. In good light, the main camera takes decent 12.5-megapixel photos. They can be a little dark sometimes, but they hold a good amount of detail. Colors can get a bit washed out if you try to zoom in, though. For video, both the front and rear cameras can shoot at 1080p and 30 frames per second. The quality is acceptable, but without any optical image stabilization, your footage will be pretty shaky unless you have super steady hands or use a tripod. Finally, let's talk software. The Moto G runs a clean version of Android 16 with just a few of Motorola's light, useful tweaks. It's a great, user-friendly experience. But here's the biggest drawback: software support. Motorola is only promising to major Android updates and 3 years of security patches. In a world where competitors are offering longer support, this feels pretty short and means the phone will feel outdated sooner. So, what's the final verdict on the Motorola Moto G for 2026? It's an attractive, affordable phone that nails the basics. It has a unique design, fantastic battery life, and smooth performance for daily use. However, it's held back by a low-resolution display, mediocre audio, an average camera system, and a short software support window. It's a decent option if you're a casual user on a tight budget, but for just a little more money, you can find competitors that offer a much more balanced and future-proof package. That's my take on the new Moto G. What do you guys think? Is the design and battery life enough to win you over? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you found this review helpful, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more tech reviews. See you in the next one.